Okay, it's Saturday afternoon again, and Artis and I are in my trusty computer lab. Today we're going to do a quick review on another cartridge utility program that I had ported from floppy disk to cartridge. This is MyDOS, and this is a version that was some of the bugs were fixed in it for me toward the end of the line. We had used other versions of MyDOS, but I have 3 or 4 other cartridges, but they didn't turn out to work as good as this one. This one was partially rewritten. I think it's 5.5 or something like that. I can't remember. There may be a newer version floating around, but this was one of the last ones that was done. And MyDOS is a disk utility program for the Atari 8-bit computer. It is in the public domain. I do not own MyDOS itself. Although on this cartridge version, I own all of the code that makes it run for the cartridge port, and I own all of the code that turns off the computer so that you can pull it out, and then it installs MyDOS into RAM. Now, MyDOS is a little different than the SpartaDOS 3.3 cartridge that I own. That one you can have the disk drive on first. MyDOS you can't. It checks for the disk drive right away. So what you have to do is you have to turn the disk drive off, and then you can install the cartridge in a computer. So that's what I'm going to do right now. You may or may not be able to see, hopefully you will. Plug it into my computer, turn the computer on, you get the prompt to pull cartridge, takes a second or two, passes a little gas. There we go, there's MyDOS. Now you can turn the disk drive on. If you want to see what's on a disk, MyDOS is a pretty slick program. It uses wildcards so that you don't have to push disk directory or whatever it is. You just press the star key as soon as it goes out. There we go. So anyways, yeah, just press the star key and it gives you immediate disk directory. It's a pretty slick DOS. I like menu DOSes because I'm just an old burned out ex-hippie, and the command line stuff I can never remember it. So I always use MyDOS for most of the stuff that I want to do. It does single density, double density. It will do hard drive partitioning. It'll do 8 16 meg partitions on a hard drive. But its biggest problem was, again, 64 files per directory. Why you would put out a modern DOS with 64 files per directory is beyond me, but they did do it. So if you're going to make a DOS for a hard drive, I mean, that's just absolutely ridiculous. So I know that you can do subdirectories and yada yada yada, but I'd rather just hit the star key and see what's on there. And of course, you can always stop it by hitting what is it? I think it's Shift Escape or Control Escape, and then you can stop the screen from scrolling. So, anyways, that's it. That's MyDOS. Pretty slick to have it on a cartridge. Just takes a few seconds to load, and away you go. And that's it for today. Thanks for viewing.